Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Prophet Muhammad's cartoons were made, and this is exactly why Pakistan did not do anything when Article 370 and 35 were abrogated. Pakistan did nothing because Pakistan can do nothing. XYZ. In a white country, by the way. They are not going to do this in Dubai. They are not going to do this in the UAE because they know that the Arabs don't take kindly to this nonsense. Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. The Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, is going to France on an official visit, and his visit is going to be on July 13th and July 14th. Now, what is very interesting is a whole bunch of top Indian CEOs are going to France. They're going to accompany the Prime Minister, and this is something that Prime Minister Modi has started, which is reaping great benefits as far as the Indian economy is concerned. Now, there is obviously going to be a lot of talk on various factors, and let's just let me take you through what they are essentially going to discuss. Who all are going there? This has not been declared as yet. I think in a day or two we will come to know what's happening. Possibly on Monday or Tuesday we'll come to know who is going and when. But the entire agenda of the business meetings that they're going to have, they're saying that the India-France Business Forum will also take part in this, and they're going to talk about areas and expertise such as defense, aviation, and space. Now, these are three areas in which India is already partnering with France, and to take it forward in defense, aviation, and space is going to be the hallmark of this visit. Now, the Prime Minister will attend the Bastille Day Parade, and as you know, there are going to be Rafales. Indian Air Force is going to be flying French Rafales, which we got from France, and you have a contingent of the Indian Army also marching. Having said that, there is going to be a roundtable discussion with CEOs during his visit. So the Prime Minister will also meet, apart from taking Indian CEOs to France, he's going to meet a whole bunch of French CEOs. And there are these big French companies, and he's going to ask them, come, make in India, invest in India. And that is the whole idea. And one of the ideas I'm telling you, one is Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, and the second is get away from China. This is the underlying current. This is exactly what happened in the US. In his visit when he met Joe Biden. This is one of the factors. This may not have been, so widely propagated by the Indians, but you knew after reading editorials in the Global Times written by the Chinese foreign minister and so many former and current Chinese diplomats. They were absolutely furious. And they were saying that what is India doing in the US and why are they talking this stuff here? And they're saying that this partnership will not last and this partnership cannot go on and India will feel betrayed by the US, etc., all because of one single fear. Where does China, after all, and I've been saying this time and again, and I want to drive home this point once more. Where does China get its power? China gets its power from its economy. And where does the economy get its money from? Chinese economy gets all its money from the United States of America and Europe. And if somehow this decoupling of the Chinese and the Western economies is fast-tracked, China will come crashing down like a house of cards, because then China has nothing to offer to the world except for cheap labor. So, the Indian Embassy in France has organized the India-France Business Summit. It had organized on 11th of April, and now, followed by a lunch of CEOs with Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and French Minister Delegate responsible for foreign trade, economic attractiveness and French nationals abroad, Oliver Becht. Now, this has already taken place in April. So, what is happening is that you have the French NSA meeting with Mr. Ajit Doval, you have the French foreign minister and the Indian foreign minister talking, and then you have Mr. Piyush Goyal, going to France and meeting with their people. So what is happening is, in a phased manner, everybody has met everybody. So the contours of Prime Minister Modi's visit are absolutely clear. This is what the Prime Minister is going to do, and this is the announcement that both the Prime Minister and the President of France will make, etc. So this is what is going to happen, and here are some details, and this is only going to get better because they're very small, the numbers are small. France, this says, Business Today article, this says, France has emerged as a major source of foreign direct investment for India and is the 11th largest foreign investor in India with a cumulative FDI equity inflow of 10.54 billion from April 2000 to March 2023. That is, it's not very much, it's around $3+ billion a year. So this is cumulative for 3 years. It's 3 billion. This needs to be scaled up to $20-25 billion a year. And They say that there are over 1,000 French businesses in India in various sectors, including defense, ITES, that is IT enabled services, consulting, engineering services, and heavy industries. Bilateral trade between two countries is seen to have doubled over the last decade. So, over the last 8 to 10 years, the trade has doubled. And in financial year 23, India's exports to France grew nearly 14.6% year on year to 7.6 billion, while imports fell marginally by 0.16% to 5.7. So the balance of trade with France is okay, and India needs to improve this further. Now we'll come to another story here, that the Ministry of Defense of India is mulling the fact that they want Rafale naval variant from France. So the thing is that there has to be commonality of platform. All right. What is commonality of platform? The commonality is that the Indian Air Force obviously has Rafales. 36 of them we bought, right? Now, for the Indian Navy also, they're looking at Rafales. So when they look at Rafales for the Indian Navy, now here is the Defense Procurement Board of the MOD is considering a deal to source 26 Rafale M jets that are capable of taking off and landing on aircraft carriers. The Indian Air Force has 36 Rafales that can be deployed on air bases on land. Also, the French government has offered to work with India to develop twin-engine deck-based fighters for the Indian Navy. So when they say has offered to develop, which means they're going to develop it in India, obviously. And the DRDO is working on the design of the plane. Okay, so here is the news within the news. They say read between the lines. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the news. Now, 26 French naval variants of the Rafale for the Indian Navy. You know where this is going. If this deal comes through, and I hope it will, you are going to see more Rafales in the Indian Air Force. Take it from me, you're going to have more Rafales in the Indian Air Force, and don't be surprised if the number is 100 plus. Don't be surprised if the number is 100 plus. I'm talking about additional 100. I'm not talking about those 36 minus 100, whatever. No. I'm saying don't be surprised. So what is going to happen is, we bought 36. Now we are buying around 26, whatever, for the Navy. And then what India is going to say, and it's already, DRDO is already doing this. Now they are saying that let's co-develop it. So there will be some element of transfer of technology, and they're saying, okay, we need, because Soviet Russia, those aircrafts are now, because of various logistical problems with Russia. We are still dependent on Russia for so many things. And this relationship with Russia needs to go on, but we need to move beyond Russia now. And what we are trying to do here is co-develop a Rafale variant with France, with Dassault Aviation. And Dassault Aviation is directly in touch with DRDO, and they are going to develop it. They're going to develop it here in India, and take it from me, this is where it is going. Because the government of India is never, or the Air Force and Navy are not going to do this, that, you have just 36 Rafales as a showpiece in the Air Force and 24, 26 Rafales for the Navy. No. There are so many aircrafts that are being phased out, and we need newer and newer aircrafts, and no better aircraft than the Rafale. Take it from me that you're going to have a lot more Rafales in the Indian Air Force from now onwards. It might take a while, but it's going to happen. Another news from Pakistan is this, that the entire Pakistan has once again come to a standstill. No surprises there. Hundreds of thousands of people are on the road condemning the Quran burning in Sweden. Now, Pakistan does a lot of this nonsense, which actually has no value, right? They do things just for optics. And actually, Pakistanis seem to think that, optics are sufficient. Because the people are not very educated, and you aren't exactly producing rocket scientists in Pakistan. So it's very easy to convince the people. Burn a few buses, burn a couple of buildings, and everything is going to be okay. Give them an outlet for their anger. It's the pressure cooker principle, ladies and gentlemen. The pressure cooker, there is a lot of steam, a lot of pressure building up inside, and there is a whistle on top. The whistle blows, the pressure comes out, and everything is okay. And the food which is inside keeps on cooking, bubbling at a leisurely pace. This is exactly what Pakistan is doing. When Article 370 and 35 were removed, they were abrogated by India. This is exactly what Pakistan did. Pakistan took no action. And just imagine, Kashmir. Kashmir is central to Pakistan's very existence. Muhammad Ali Jinnah called it the jugular vein of Pakistan. Shahrag, as they say in Urdu. The jugular vein of Pakistan. Kashmir is, even today, central to their diplomacy. It is central to their narrative. It is central to the two-nation theory. Kashmir is central to their national security policy. Kashmir is central to their armed forces, which is why they get all the budget. They, as far as conventional war is concerned, they have terrorism coming in from Afghanistan, etc., which is their own fault, by the way, because Pakistanis gave birth to those terrorists. But anyway, their conventional forces are against India because they don't have a problem with any other country because they are surrounded by two Muslim countries and the third one is China. Pakistan cannot have a problem with China. China owns Pakistan. You can't have a problem with your own father or with your own master. So who is left? India. Here is what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistan has again fooled its public. They have taken no action against Sweden. At least Iran had the guts and the courage to say that we are withdrawing or we are not sending our ambassador. A new ambassador, I think the old one was getting posted out as there was no ambassador or something like that, and Iran said that we are not sending our ambassador. Iran has taken that step. Iran is a country with courage. That is why Iran has sanctions. Pakistan has no sanctions because when Pakistan does something wrong, they'll lie down at the feet of the Americans. They'll just start crying and bawling and touching the feet of the Americans. The Iranians wouldn't do that. Even if the Iranians do anything wrong, they say, okay, we have done something wrong, we'll take care of it, we'll bear the loss. And they've been bearing the loss since 1979. Since 1979, Iran has been under sanctions. Can you imagine? 40 years. 40 years plus. Iran has been under sanctions and that's all right. Iranians have not bowed down to anybody, but look at the Pakistanis. Slight bit of pressure and the entire nation of 250 million is lying down on the ground, ready to surrender. So this is what has happened in that Sweden Quran burning case. They did exactly the same thing when Prophet Muhammad's cartoons came out of France. Throw out the French ambassador. Throw out the French ambassador from Pakistan. And somebody told them that there is no French ambassador in Pakistan. So Pakistani apparently had forgotten that there was no French ambassador in Pakistan. They said, no. Close the embassy. Shut down the embassy. The people I'm talking, Pakistanis, okay? Shut down the embassy. And we will never, tolerate any insult of the Prophet and this and that. All big talk. Pakistanis are essentially big talk. Huge gas bags. And, no diplomatic relations with France. And then there's flooding in Pakistan and France says, we'll give you $300 million. And Pakistan says, thank you, sir. Have a nice day. That's what Pakistan did for France. Pakistan, in spite of Charlie Hebdo cartoons, in spite of the fact that there were so many protests in Pakistan and Lahore was half burned by Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, extreme right-wing religious party, in spite of everything, Pakistanis are extremely practical people. They try to portray an image of people who are, religion loving and Prophet Muhammad loving and Quran loving and Islam loving. They're not actually. They're very practical people. They're very practical. All you have to do is give Pakistanis money. Today, if Pakistan does not want to take the extreme step of withdrawing their ambassador from there or shutting down the embassy there in Sweden and asking Sweden to shut down its embassy here in Islamabad, the least they can do, and this is just an idea which I'd like to give to the Pakistanis, maybe you don't want to break diplomatic relations with Sweden, but you can at least tell your own people. The Pakistani people, 97% of them Muslim and claiming to be the best Muslims in the world, better than the Arabs, better than the Malaysians, better than the Indonesians, better than the Central Asian republics, better than the Africans, better than anybody in the world. The Pakistanis say that we are the best Muslims in the world. Can you at least promise that no Pakistani will stand in front of the Swedish embassy asking for a visa to go to Sweden? Can you do that? Can you try that? Can you say that we will at least have no trade with Sweden? Can you even make that comment? No, you will not do that. Anything which is financial in nature, Pakistanis will not touch. Trust you me, anything which is financial in nature. If they know that they can steal a dollar from Sweden, it does not matter what Sweden does or any other European country does. It does not matter to the Pakistanis, not one bit, right? As long as they get the money. And money talks in Pakistan. You can buy Pakistan. You can buy their friendship. You can buy their loyalty. You can buy their servitude. You can buy anything as long as you have dollars to pay. And this is exactly why Pakistan is not doing anything. This is exactly why Pakistan did not do anything even when Prophet Muhammad's cartoons were made. And this is exactly why Pakistan did not do anything when Article 370 and 35 were abrogated. Pakistan did nothing because Pakistan can do nothing. You fight with India, you'll have to spend dollars. Who wants to spend dollars? Keep them with you. It does not matter. Your narrative on Kashmir, let it flow on Twitter. Twitter is free. Doesn't matter. Maybe a few dollars here and there for the Twitter blue tick. Otherwise, everything is fine. That is what Imran Khan did. Imran Khan was the Prime Minister of Pakistan when Article 370 and 35 were abrogated. What did he do? Zero. Imran Khan was the Prime Minister of Pakistan when those cartoons of Prophet Muhammad were reprinted. And when Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan came on the streets of Lahore and burnt half of Lahore, Imran Khan was the Prime Minister. What did he do? Nothing. And this is the person, Imran Khan, that people of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan's followers say that he is, this Imran Khan is the leader of the Muslim world. And he is the best of all the Muslims in the world. And Imran Khan will lead the Muslim world to glory. This is what they say. And this guy did nothing except for tweeting. There is nothing that he did. Zero. Zilch. Because he knew that Imran Khan knows his people. Imran Khan knows Pakistanis very well. All big talk. What they can do is, if they find one single guy in London walking on the street, let's say, I criticize Pakistanis every day. So if they find me talking, walking on the streets of London, 20 Pakistanis will surround me and start abusing. Right? If they find me walking somewhere, XYZ, in a white country, by the way, they are not going to do this in Dubai. They are not going to do this in the UAE because they know that the Arabs don't take kindly to this nonsense. They are very careful where they do it. So if they find Major Gaurav Arya walking on the streets of the US or Australia or Canada, 20 Pakistanis will get together and start abusing. That is it. But if you tell the Pakistanis to do something substantial for their country, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That whole nation, ladies and gentlemen, is on autopilot. So I hope you like this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.